Hey, yo, say hello to the bad guy, Scott Hall, and I've got a scoop for you. And we all know there's a lot of podcasts out there, and I encourage you to check out this one. It's called Going In Raw. You heard it here first. Going In Raw.
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
Dan Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw. Do the brief. Look at that. I'm Big Stevel. I'm Big Stevel.
All right.
I got my big evil beanie on, Larson. You know what's funny about it? It's actually a Daniel Bryan beanie that I got from like a loot crate or something.
That's cool.
I didn't do my hair today.
I like Daniel Bryan.
I didn't do my hair today, so I'm putting it in a beanie.
Very well.
Anyways.
It's not a bad look for you.
Hey man, let's try to get this one to 600 likes. Hit that like button.
Looks like you're ready to go hit the docks and help unload some cargo.
Fresh fish. Anyways, what you got in the news today?
Oh, Raw. Ratings are in. It's terrible.
Fresh fish.
Bad. So we don't normally talk ratings here, but this is something else. This is a new low for 2020. Not low all time, but getting like within 100,000 viewers of being the worst non-holiday number ever. The show averaged 1.923 million viewers. Again, a new low for 2020. Third hour in particular, just massive drop. Down to 1.646 million viewers for hour 3.
Oh my gosh.
Terrible. So this is not exactly what WWE wants for the go-home show them to WrestleMania. I guess the assumption is still people, if they're not home, they should be home. And if they're home, might as well be watching the television. WWE right now is some of the few live programming available out there. Not that they're necessarily making it captivating TV, but it's something. So I can't imagine WWE's terribly happy about this number, especially on the precipice of what's supposed to be their top pay-per-view of the entire year. It's just bad. So as a measure of enthusiasm, bad. The curiosity factor for these empty arena shows, gone. It's just this is not good.
There's
not good at all.
I mean, look, man.
There's no way to spin this for any sort of positive.
Look, you can either say this is really bad, or you can say this time period is an anomaly, and the enthusiasm will return once the people return to show that enthusiasm, and that might be a little while. So they're gonna have to deal with this, and
they're gonna have to weather this storm.
Try to come up with new and interesting ways of.
Well, here's the thing too: is while the numbers themselves are abysmal. In that prized, all-important 18 to 49 demo, they placed third, fourth, and seventh each hour of Raw for the evening. Only bested the first 2 hours by Love and Hip Hop in Atlanta and Love and Hip Hop in Miami. It's the only two shows that bested. But those two shows only beat them in that demo. Their numbers, in terms of viewership, worse than Raw.
I think I would imagine everything's down except for the news, man.
Yeah.
Everybody what's the news these days? They're all wondering, when do we get out of our house? It's going to be a while, people. Yeah. Anyway, speaking of when they're not going to be able to get out of their house, AEW has some sort of secret house that they're going to be filming Dynamite at, maybe, from the Wrestling Observer newsletter.
Not the newsletter, just the Wrestling Observer. Sorry, typo on my part.
Oh, okay. Due to Dave Meltzer, the Wrestling Observer himself. Do we know this was on radio or something? Do we know?
No, this is actually on the website, written by Dave Meltzer himself.
Oh, okay. Due to the coronavirus pandemic, AEW has changed their Dynamite and Dark taping schedule again, moving them out of Daly's Place in Jacksonville, Florida, to an undisclosed location. It is believed they will be taping matches throughout Tuesday and Wednesday for this week's Dynamite and Dark, as well as future shows. The report adds that AEW is keeping the location hush, and on the QT as to avoid fans going there and asking for autographs and stuff, because, wrestling fans, they want to get their hands on them wrestlers, them autographs and those meet and greets. The Wrestling Observer notes that the location is somewhere in the southeast. Are they? I mean, there are areas of the country that are not on official lockdown, right?
Correct. Yes.
So if they just find some empty field and set up a wrestling ring, and that county isn't on lockdown,
yeah,
they can do whatever they want.
Yeah, depending if there's any limitations in terms of the size of gatherings. Wrestling Observer explains why AEW had to move their shoot out of Jacksonville, saying, quote, the city of Jacksonville is setting up a parking lot near Daly's place as a major coronavirus testing center in an early edict this week, closing down all hotels in the city except to essential personnel that have made it difficult to continue to run shows there. And for those of you thinking, hey, they're in the Southeast, North Carolina's in the Southeast, Hardy compound, well, you might as well delete that notion from your head, because Fightful Select, by the way, go subscribe to Fightful Select. It's worth every cent, doing fantastic work.
Yes.
They're reporting, quote, the state of North Carolina has put on a stay-at-home order, meaning that it's highly unlikely any sort of group of wrestlers will be able to congregate on the Hardy compound to shoot Dynamite.
Do we know? Where's Darby Allin from?
Well, isn't he billed from Seattle?
Oh, yeah, he is, yeah. I don't know where his house is.
I don't know either.
So, because that was where they filmed the Lance Archer stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, look, Tony Khan seems like a very resourceful person. And here's the thing about AEW, man. They might be nomads at this point, but they're also very creative. I believe that whatever they do, they're going to make the most out of it. Everybody's trying to make the most out of this and not just give us stupid-looking gym workouts.
Yes. Speaking of making the most out of something, Steve, talk about this new AEW championship we can expect soon.
All right, man. So yesterday via Twitter, but before that, during Road to Dynamite, I guess.
Yeah,
I think it was Road to Dynamite. All these, it was actually pretty clever. There you go. That's the bracket right there. So I don't know who it was. Somebody came in. Was it QT Marshall? I don't know who it is. Somebody came in wearing an AEW polo and was like, because Tony Schiavone rather, and Cody, they were in the middle of a powwow in the conference room. And the guy comes in and is like, hey, Tony, here's my brackets. And Cody's like, what brackets? And he's like, oh, don't worry about it. And he goes. And he's like, Tony, what's going on? And then Dr. Britt Baker FaceTimes Tony. She's like, hey, I've got my brackets if you want them. And Cody's like, what brackets? And then Tony's like, hey, Britt, I got to go. She's like, don't you hang up on me, you son of a bitch. And then he hangs up on her.
That's pretty funny.
And he's like, what's going on? What's these brackets? And then Tony Schiavone gets up and very dramatically into the camera announces, new championship. We got our mid-card title. It's the TNT championship. And then they released the full press release there on the Twitters and to all the PR lists that for whatever reason we're not on. We should get on that list, Larson.
Sure.
So anyways, here's the deal. The first champion will be crowned in what AEW is calling a high-stakes 8-man tournament, which kicks off Wednesday, April 8th. Virus be damned on Dynamite. And they released a bracket. Apparently, the only people competing in this particular tournament, as you can see behind Larson there, is vacant. It's 8 vacants. They all look like that vacant guy from WWE video games. So, of course, let's predict who the first TNT. Number one, do you like this TNT championship? Do you like the name there? We both like the idea of the mid-card title.
They need some sort of explosive tie-in. At the shows to make it make sense. Otherwise, it's just named after the network. I don't know.
What show is?
I'm indifferent, but
what show does TNT incessantly rerun? Do they have Law and Order reruns? I think they do.
USA used to. I think TNT does. Yeah.
Yeah. So they should have like a Law and Order tie-in. Whatever.
There you go.
TNT.
There you go.
And then during basketball season, you have a basketball tie-in. TNT is great. They should. Whatever they do, they should make it like always tying.
You know what they should have called it?
What?
The Drama Championship, because TNT knows drama.
They know drama. That's great, man, because, wrestling can be very dramatic.
Exactly.
So, like, the first champion should be Darby Allin.
Yeah, it should be Darby.
But that's too
100%.
obvious. That's too obvious. So, I saw some people online on the Twitter saying they should make this as prestigious as the world champion just to mix it up and have, like, Kenny or Cody or whatever. And I'm like, why would you do that? Like, you got this fantastic mid card. There are divisions. There are cards. There's the upper card. There's mid card. This is where that belongs.
And mid carders. Yeah.
I'm gonna say my pick for first champion is Scorpio Sky. Man, he's not even a singles wrestler, but that's my choice.
Who's a mid card heel? Sammy Guevara.
That's a good one. Yeah, you got to give the inner circle some gold.
And then, that can cause some tension between him and Jericho. And also, if he has it, he's already in a bit with Darby. Darby could be chasing the title after tournament.
Yeah, Darby's like kind of above titles at this point, man. He's huge. He's huge. I do kind of feel like he's above something called the TNT Championship.
Yeah, I wish they could come up with a better name for it.
Here's the thing. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt on this one, man. I was a big fan of, I know you didn't like the diamond ring because it's just a ring, but I was a big fan of that. I thought it was executed pretty well. As long as it looks good and it doesn't have a giant like orange and red or yellow and red, whatever the TNT logo is. As long as that's not like this giant TNT logo in the center, which I'm sure it won't be. God, I hope not. That'd be horrible. Keep that title on. They should have just had the dark title. I don't know. There was no. Yeah, the title's not great, but whatever. It's gonna be fun. It's AEW. They're fun.
Oh, it'll be fun. I'll be into it so long as there's good stories and good matches, then I'll be into it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's the stories and matches that matter.
It is the stories and matches that matter. Speaking of a match that was going to matter and now kind of matters less, Roman Reigns versus Goldberg is now, of course, out, and Goldberg versus mystery opponent is in. Don't spoil it in the comments. I know that part got out. Just come on, man. Be cool.
Be cool.
I mean, I know everybody knows, but we're just trying to keep things cool here, man.
We're just trying to keep things cool. Not everybody's on wrestling Twitter all the time like we are.
We've got our inside sources that have been feeding us all these leaks from WrestleMania. We know all the results, but we're not saying anything.
We don't know anything.
None of that's true.
We don't know.
No,
anything.
isn't that crazy? Like nobody seems to be getting leaks.
I know. It's something else.
Yeah.
So after those reports swirled about Roman Reigns pulling out of this year's Mania, the big dog himself finally commented on it via Instagram, confirmed that he has removed himself from the Showcase of the Immortals, saying, quote, "For all my fans, I'm sorry I didn't get to compete this year and put on a show and entertain, but sometimes things are more important. And I had to make a choice for me and my family, but no matter what, you already know the deal. I had to make a decision for me, but it doesn't take anything away from what I've done and what I'm going to do. I still love this game. I still love pro wrestling, sports entertainment. I love being in the ring. It's a little weird being in the ring with nobody watching, nobody in the arena, but man, I'm ready to get back to work. And I'm just taking these times, this little bit of time we have to build up the outside and come as close to possible to perfecting the inside." He says a lot more, addressing people who in years past said, "Oh, I don't want Roman in WrestleMania." And now that he had to pull out due to health concerns, they're hating on him for it.
Yeah.
So he addressed that a bit. He said, time like these that we're living in now, it's time that we all need to kind of work together. So let's work together, people.
Yeah, it's on his Instagram right now. You can check it out on his Instagram stories. He's taking a nice stroll, getting some cardio in. So yeah, good for him. That's awesome. And yeah, WWE, I get it. I get it. They really needed to announce this like officially instead of incessantly advertising it.
I know
that they have a story that they want to play out, probably via a vignette or a video on SmackDown on Friday. That being said, as we're about to mention, WrestleMania is available on the Fight app, and you can pre-order it now. And if you're pre-ordering this thing based solely on the idea that your favorite wrestler, Roman Reigns, is going to be there, and let's say you don't have Instagram, you're not following him, you're not following Going In Raw.
You're the very definition of casual fan, let's say.
Right, exactly. But
and you don't follow all the news. Yeah,
you darn well like Roman Reigns. Larson likes him so much that he's frozen up. Look at all that excitement right there. So yeah, I don't know. They shouldn't be advertising that, but whatever. It's WWE.
Yeah, I'm really quite surprised they didn't run the angle last week, where Goldberg's mystery opponent, takes that spot. I'm really surprised because the reports had already gotten out.
Put it on Twitter. They do everything else on Twitter. Put it on Twitter.
No, but reports are they already shot something.
Yeah, I know.
It's in the can. They shot at the tapings.
That's why I kind of think they didn't do it last week, because it was too late for them to move all the pieces around.
I don't know. It was Wednesday that it happened, so they had 2 days.
It was just funny that Triple H had a whole segment breaking down that match.
When everybody knows full well that match isn't going to happen.
Yeah, so this is kind of interesting. What do you make of this? So, as I just mentioned, WrestleMania, it's going to be airing on the Fight app and on the Fox app. The Fox app makes sense. Along with the WWE Network and traditional pay-per-view, it looks like this year's WrestleMania is going to be too big. This is good. Too big for just two carriers, because they announced deals with both Fight TV and Fox Sports to carry the show on pay-per-view. Both outlets will offer the complete weekend of shows for $59.99, and Fox Sports 1 and Fox Deportes will carry both kickoff shows. Fox also announced they'll be airing 22 hours of WWE content as a lead-up to WrestleMania 36, starting today with an encore presentation of the 2020 Rumble, following by 1 hour cuts, super cuts, Hulu cuts of Manias 31, 33, and 34, episodes of WWE 24, and Ruthless Aggression, the kayfabe documentary series, and a new Best of WWE series. I wonder if they're going to grab the videotape you used to hawk on eBay. Best of
stuff.
HBK Volume 1.
No, it's HBK Best Stuff.
Sorry.
Get the name right, man.
Sorry, I apologize. That was a classic.
As you should.
That was a classic.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, it's going to be on Fight. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. I mean, I guess the Fox crossover is not that surprising. 22 hours is a lot of stuff.
There's a lot of time that needs to be filled, man. Did you see that NASCAR held a virtual race?
Yeah.
On
Did you hear
TV?
that the NBA is going to have a tournament with NBA players playing 2K?
Oh, that's cool. Hey, I'll be honest with you. I plunked down. I watched some of the esports NBA stuff. Mm-hmm. That stuff is pretty fun to watch. It gets pretty intense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff. And then the WWE Network, I saw they're airing Dream Match simulations on 2K20 on the network. I really wish this was done live.
Yeah.
Because the glitches that could potentially happen live on air, I think they're probably going to tape it all in advance and be able to cut out all the good stuff, which is the.
So glitches. What they're doing, they're stealing our idea of WWF.
The original incarnate, the original way we used to do it, yeah.
Yep. All like 3 episodes.
Yeah. They take our ideas, man. It's all right. We get, you know what? We'll just come up with more ideas.
Exactly. That's what we do. Come up with different ideas, more ideas, better ideas.
More and better ideas.
More and better.
Anyways, that's it for Big Stevel and Larson. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate it. We got a huge sale right now. Hey, for anybody who tried to... Yeah, Big Cartel all of a sudden delinked our PayPal from our Friendo Market. So I relinked it. FriendoMerch.com and FriendoMarket.com. Right now we have a huge sale going on. Promo code MANIA, 20% off. It's going to be happening all week, all through the Raw After Mania, I think.
Yeah. Speaking of WrestleMania, not only will we be doing our live reaction stream, we got a thing going on, a pickup contest with our good friendos over at Busted Wide Open. That video, our predictions, will be going up on Friday morning probably.
Yeah.
So be on the lookout for that. We've got some interesting punishment for the losers.
Which is going to be them over there at Busted Wide Open. I hope they enjoy getting inked. I'll just say that. Thanks for watching, everybody. Till next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.